day, everyone. Welcome back to English Hero. And right now we are going to learn the perfect tenses of the verb. Now, same goes with the simple tenses. Perfect tenses, perfect tense, it has three types. We have the present perfect tense, the past perfect tense, and the future perfect tense. The question is, how do they differ from one another? We'll try to dig into that as we tackle these diagrams that I have written here on the board. So first let's have the present perfect tense. The formula of this, or the structure, is we have to remember, we have to use the auxiliary has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. Okay? Now always remember, past participle form of the verb, it's different to the past tense. Okay? There's a different structure of that. So for example, of the past participle is, for example, took. That's a past tense of take. So past participle form of took is taken. Usually, past participle form of the verb or past participle words end in en. Okay? Alright, so always remember for present perfect tense, the formula is has. If the subject is singular, okay, if the subject is singular, and you have to use have if the subject is plural. Has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. For example, has taken, have taken, something like that, or has bought or have bought. Okay? So we do have here three diagrams for present perfect tense. This is referring to different use of present perfect tense. For present perfect tense, first diagram, this refers, as you notice, there's an X here. So this is an action that happened in the past that is somehow in connection to the present tense. I mean the present time rather, not present tense, okay? So action happened in the past that somehow in connection or that has somehow of importance to your present time. For example, I have studied Bachelor of Secondary Education specializing in English. That's why I am teaching English now. Okay? So it's we have I have taken, or I have studied rather. So you have there the formula have plus the past participle form of study, which is studied. Okay? I have studied Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in or specializing in English. That's why I'm teaching English now as a subject. Okay? So that's in connection to the past event happened. Okay? There you have it. So second use of present perfect tense is if you are referring to an action that just recently finished or recently happened, okay, or recently done. For example, I have already finished recording a video lesson about simple tenses. So I have already finished. There is the action that's just recently happened or finished. Okay, may it be like few hours ago. Okay, so it depends on the speaker on what he was trying to say, what action he was trying to refer to. Okay, so I was trying to refer to that I have just recorded a video lesson about simple tenses of the verb. Okay, by the way, for perfect tenses we do have some signal words or verbal clues. We have already, recently, for 5 years, for 6 years, something like that. Later on, we're gonna use those signal words as we continue to discuss with the past perfect tense or the future perfect tense. Okay, because you are going to use signal words so that it will give an idea to the listener or to the one you are talking to that you are referring to the past action happened in the past. Or past action rather, that's been continuing now, or it has not yet finished. Okay? So that's why you use those signal words. Okay, so always remember for present perfect tense, there's the use of has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. So if you're referring to a past action that happened, past action rather, that has insignificance to the present time, and also if you're referring to a past action or past event that just recently happened or recently finished or done. Thirdly, you're going to use present perfect tense if the past action is not done yet up to the present. Okay? So what I'm talking about, for example, I have recorded some video lessons about verbs. Okay? So I have recorded some video lessons about verbs. Have plus recorded, okay? I'm referring to an action that has not done yet. Okay? So I have just recorded some video lessons about verb. So it's an action that has not done yet. It's not finished yet. Okay? So that's the third use of the present perfect tense. Okay? So always remember that the structure is has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. Now, second type of perfect tense, we have the past perfect. Now, for the formula is, or the structure is, you have to use auxiliary had, okay, plus the past participle form of the verb. Okay, of course, past, you have to use had. You don't use has or have. Okay? Now, I have here a diagram. As you notice, there are two arrows here. There's arrow 1 and arrow 2. For arrow 1, this is the first action. Okay, the second one is the second action, second arrow. Okay? So, we have here past and future time. Now, there are two actions happen in the past. For past perfect tense, this is actually if you're referring to two actions happen in the past, but the first action happened first before the past action, before the second past action occurred rather. Okay? For example, I had eaten my dinner before my mother arrived home. Okay? So let me write it down. I had eaten. This is the past participle form of eat. Okay? I had eaten my dinner. Excuse me. Dinner before my mom arrived home. So I use had here because this is an action that happened first before a certain action, which is my mom arrived home, occurred. Okay? So as you notice, we have had two actions happen, eaten and arrived. Two actions happened in the past, but the first action happened first. Of course, first. Okay, there's a first action happened before the second action occurred. Okay? Always remember, past perfect tense, you are referring to two past actions. Okay? Of course, you have to use auxiliary had if that action happened first. Okay? Alright, so let's have the last type of perfect tense. This is the future perfect tense. So the structure is will have plus the past participle form of the verb. So there's a diagram here. So we have past time, present time, and future time. Now in the middle is the present time. Now if you're referring to future perfect tense, if you're talking about future perfect tense, it is actually an action that's gonna, it's like you are anticipating. You are somehow thinking that action is going to happen in the future. Okay? For example, now this time, you are going to use some time expressions or some signal words. So, for example, I will have studied a master's degree I will have studied master's degree in for 2 years. Okay, so we have here, I will have studied master's degree for 2 years. Now we have here signal words for, okay, 2 years. There's actually a duration. So you are anticipating a certain action that's going to happen in the future. That's why you use future perfect tense. And don't forget the formula, it's will have plus the past participle form of the verb. Now you don't use has here, regardless of if the subject is singular or plural, because the structure is absolute. That's going to be will have, not will has, but will have plus past participle form of the verb. For example, so we have your example, I will have studied master's degree for 2 years. So that's it. Okay? If you want to know more about perfect tenses, of course you can refer to your books or textbook. That's on page 66. Yeah, 66. There you will learn more about perfect tenses of the verb. That's all for today in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Have a good one to you, everyone, and bye-bye.